a lot of times we were kind of ripping our hair out because we didn't know what we were doing. Last winter, when I came to Ed Bullion's house with the Pimp My Ride van that just went kind of insane on my channel, we were sitting around his fireplace and talking about various ideas that could happen. And he came up with this idea that, hey, why don't we make Top Gear? And then we started thinking, why couldn't we make Top Gear? I mean, we're in the position right now, we're very fortunate in that we have channels that are more or less well known, and we're all friends, and we have access to cars, we have access to these experiences. Why not do this? So then we got to thinking, what could we do to entice people and give them that familiar feeling that we all had when we were watching older seasons of Top Gear. You know, the cheap car challenges, the epic road trips, the camaraderie, the fights, all the stuff that you love about Top Gear and now the Grand Tour. We got to thinking, and that's essentially how the series Car Trek happened. So the way it works is that in YouTube, you can't really budget things the way you do in TV. So in TV, you have an entire production team. You have to have showrunners. You have to have people that scout. You have to have people that help the people who do this and that. There's so many moving parts that it gets very, very expensive very quickly. And then you have TV itself. You don't know how the metrics work as far as how many people are watching, what they're doing, what their demographics are. But YouTube allows you to see all of this in a way where TV doesn't. So we had a unique opportunity because we could sort of trim the fat of a lot of the excess that TV has. Well, excess that we thought that TV had at the time. So we decided to get like kind of a small group of people together. So we knew a few camera guys and we thought, okay, let's get a crew together and we could film this. We got a rough map out and we did our first Car Trek series, which went from the north of Florida to the south of Florida to the north of Florida again. And it went very well. We learned a lot of things. It was very tiring at times, and a lot of times we were kind of ripping our hair out because we didn't know what we were doing. That was a very good learning experience for the second one, which we did in Las Vegas. We had a central filming location, and then we had like a hub, and then we went out to different places from there. And that worked out very well. And we actually ended up hiring a guy that had worked on a lot of TV shows. I mean, TV shows that people would have actually seen. Little flex, he won 2 Emmys. So he's an awesome dude. Now, with that, we learned even more that production isn't necessarily bloated because it has a lot of people working on it. Sometimes you need those people. You need showrunners, you need people scouting locations, you need people to bring you water. I mean, that is a very interesting thing that I never thought that I would need, but people just handing you water saying, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? That is like a very essential element of these filming things. We wanted to do it in a way where it was a little more authentic because in TV, a lot of stuff gets faked. I mean, just on the VINwiki channel, you can see that there's various shows that aren't exactly what you think they are from the outset. But in YouTube, people can see through that in a way where they can't on TV. You can script things on YouTube, sort of, but people can really see through that and say, you didn't actually do this. This is fake. We wanted to maintain that authenticity because that's the only way you sustain in this business. So we decided to buy our cars like for real. We're not using press cars. We're not using borrowed cars. These are cars that we bought with money that we got for the show. And with that, we had to defend our purchasing decisions and good decisions or bad decisions. And through the series, you'll see whether those decisions were good or bad. That, I think, puts us apart from the Top Gears and Grand Tours of the world. And I think that that's enough of a differentiating factor to keep people coming back because they don't know what we're actually going to spend our money on. And if we actually lose money, and spoiler alert, we do lose money. So we lose a lot of money on the cars sometimes. Not Ed, because Ed is a very shrewd negotiator, never lose any money ever. But the money doesn't matter. The money never matters because looking at the experiences that the Top Gear guys had, I'm sure that it was hard filming for them at points, and I'm sure that they had to do multiple takes, and I'm sure that there was stuff that was, faked for TV. I think that the enjoyment that I had in my head watching them had to be matched by what we were doing at Car Trek. So we just did it because we wanted to. We just did it because it's fun for us. And it was more fun than I'd ever imagined it to be. The first series was a big learning experience because it was fun at times, it was frustrating at times, and we were just kind of getting our footing. The second series is more of that, just kind of honed in on what we wanted to show people. And I think we really had a lot more enjoyment out of it. And we had a lot more misery because it was very hot. So I just a fun fact, we filmed in Vegas, and it was the hottest that has ever been in that area ever. It was 130 degrees in that area. If anyone says we're not suffering for our art, here we are. So doing this YouTube job is a dream job. It's an insane gig. It's something that I never imagined myself to do. But doing it day in and day out and kind of feeding the beast, it's a job. And it has issues just like any job. Sometimes you dread going into work, sometimes you don't want to do it, and sometimes it's very, very fun. This was a departure from that. This was just a vacation encased in a series that we could show people. And it was so much fun that I would love to do this multiple times a year for the foreseeable future. I mean, I don't see myself getting tired of it at all. And I love having new car experiences. I love just hanging out with my friends. And I love showing people that depreciated cars, depreciated supercars, depreciated luxury cars, just cars that you didn't think you could afford, could be so much fun and sometimes so heartbreaking when they go wrong.
We'd like to thank Dream Car Exchange for supporting the VINwiki YouTube channel this month. DCX is an enthusiast marketplace with auctions for amazing cars happening now. We've got some awesome things planned with them over the next few weeks that I think you'll enjoy, so please stay tuned. But now, browse on over to their site and see if your dream car is the next one across the block.